All right, welcome everyone. Today we're going to cut right to the chase on chainsaw safety. We're not just reading the manual here. We're talking about the mandatory, non-negotiable practices that keep us safe on the job every single day. This is the professional standard.
Okay, let's dive in. Before we start listing a bunch of rules, it's so important to understand why these rules even exist. I mean, every time we fire up one of these saws, we're actively managing a handful of really specific risks. So what are they? What are we really up against?
And here they are. It really all boils down to these three things. Seriously, every rule, every piece of gear, every single procedure we're about to cover is built specifically to stop a serious cut, prevent permanent hearing damage, or save you from a violent, unpredictable kickback. That's the whole game.
Now, you know safety isn't a one-person show, right? It's a system. So let's quickly break down the roles in that system, in our chain of responsibility, because knowing exactly where you fit in is always step one.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a two-way street, not just orders coming from the top down. Yeah, the supervisor makes sure you've got the training and the right saw for the job, but that's only half the story. The person running that saw has the huge responsibility to actually use that training, to be the one to spot a hazard, and to yell stop the second they see an issue with their gear. It's a loop, and that loop only works with good communication.
Okay, so let's get to the core of it, the code of operation. These are the do's, the non-negotiables. These are the things we do every single time a saw gets started, no exceptions. These checks, this is the foundation for every safe cut you make. Each one of these steps is mandatory. Clearing your work area isn't about being tidy, it's about getting rid of that one root or rock that could send you flying. And getting your footing right, that's not about being comfortable, it's about being able to control the force of the saw. You're building a safe little bubble to work in before you even pull the cord.
Let me be absolutely crystal clear on this one. There are zero exceptions here. Full PPE is your armor. It's not optional, it's not about comfort, it is about survival. Every single piece is designed for a specific threat. The chaps are there to stop a moving chain, the iPro is there to stop debris. Think of it like your uniform. If you're not wearing all of it, you're not ready to work, period.
Refueling is not just a pit stop. It's a critical fire prevention procedure. A hot engine can ignite fuel vapor in a heartbeat, and spilled fuel is just an invisible fire hazard waiting to happen. That's why letting the saw cool all the way down and using a funnel aren't just good ideas, they are mandatory steps to make sure you don't start a flash fire.
All right, so we've covered the do's. Let's flip the coin. Now we're talking about the hard lines, the things you just don't do. There's no gray area with these.
We are giving this its own slide for a reason. This is, hands down, the single most unpredictable threat this tool has. The second you get lazy, the second you get complacent and forget that bar can kick back or get pinched, that's when you get hurt. You never, ever ignore it.
So what do all these have in common? They're all about maintaining control, using the right size saw, never leaving it running by itself, watching where you step. Every single one of these rules is a layer of protection designed to keep a situation from getting out of hand fast. And just to hammer this point home one more time on refueling, it is a zero-tolerance policy, no ignition sources. Fuel vapors are invisible, they travel, and they are incredibly flammable. One little spark from a cigarette and you have a serious problem. No exceptions, ever.
You know, when you really think about it, every single thing we've talked about today, every do and every don't, it all boils down to this one simple idea. The biggest enemy we have out there isn't the saw. It's complacency. It's getting too comfortable. The absolute best defense we have is respecting the machine by sticking to the fundamentals, every single time.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. After all this, which one of these fundamental checks are you going to double down on today? Which one will you be extra careful about? Because your answer to that, well, that's what keeps you and everybody on your crew safe.